Aussie.
Hello. Hello, Omega Leech. How are you? Get my first drink of the evening ready and finishing off my clarified cocktail. And because I'm a fancy motherfucker, I like garnishes. Got my orange peel. Stab a cherry. Yeah, wow, first go. Though it's off-center. I don't like that it's off-center. I'm going to get sticky fingers, as the Rolling Stones would say. Wait, where is it? There. Right through the middle. Marasca syrup all over me. Anyway, Leach, I'm glad you are well. What are we? Thursday. Practically Friday. Almost the weekend, as I obsessively say most Thursdays. But it's true. Feeling a bit footloose and fancy free. I do have to talk to some humans at work. Well, you know, online meeting. But not till the afternoon. So even theoretically, if I got really assholed, I would have had recovery time before I have to see things. Jim Young, hello. How you doing? Huey Green. I'm sure you're going to explain that to me. Rhyming slang? I don't know. I'm confused. Oof. Well, what have I been doing? I've been thinking about stuff. I got sort of a big punch I want to make. I'm inspired by. Might make tomorrow. Do a huge poo before coming on the stream, so I feel cleansed. So that's good. Watched a few things on YouTube. Man, people really fucking love their video essays these days, don't they? So many genres of the video essay. It's not new. People have been doing it for quite a while. It'd be interesting is if someone's sort of done a history of it, like who first, like people were always doing commentary. I've always been doing commentary on been doing commentary on videos, but the video essay is another thing. Oh, thank you, Jim. Billy Connolly's joke about Creme de Menthe. What's this? Music over the old work crush playing a gig. Noble experiment in Collingwood. Self-written songs. Oh. So you're going to the gig? Sounds like a fine gig. Remember the version of the Billy Connolly's Creme de Menthe joke is about the Pope. It's the Pope's drink, isn't it? And he does this one of these guys who have drunk too much. And he has a really extended riff on how awful they are the next morning. Like they wake up in the gutter covered in vomit and piss. And he just goes into a quite long graphic description of just how fucked up they are. Good old Billy Connolly. Man, he had a long career. Hey, Mr. Gonzo, I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's a happening thing here in the world. Next time I milk clarify, I've got to remember to do it properly. Might be tomorrow because I have this inspiration for a sort of punch, rum-based, sort of related to sangria as well. I wouldn't qualify as a sangria though. going to have some sweet vermouth rather than red wine in it. And I think I'm going to milk clarify half of it. We'll see. Mr. Gonzo, you're dandy. Glad to hear it. Fine and or dandy is a great way to be. Gotta, get in the groove, as Madonna would tell us. Mind you, Madonna would tell us all sorts of things, and I'm not sure we should pay attention to everything she would say. Let's see if there's any fun topics of conversation in the news. End of pandemic in sight, World Health Organization chief says. There you go. Saw that headline earlier, but I didn't look into it. Never been in a better position to end the pandemic. Not there yet, but the end's in sight. Here's a little bit of history. Was declared a public health emergency in January 2020, officially a pandemic in March 2020. Need to focus on testing, clinical care, vaccination, infection control, rebuilding trust in health authorities, managing the infodemic. Last week, the number of weekly reported deaths from COVID-19 was the lowest since March 2020. Is that real? I mean, that's exceptionally good news. That is freaking exceptionally good news. But there's like 10,000, 11,000 deaths in a week. Jesus. Gonzo, yeah, I mean, R. Kelly was gone for all money. It's just a formality to convict him. Thank you. That's a good general wish to have for people. Hoping life issues resolve in a positive manner. Micro, hello. How you doing? Quick hello. Oh, yeah, that was for you. Okay. Jesus Christ. One thing. I read the comments out of order. Well, I will also throw in positive vibes for hoping some life issues resolve in an acceptable way. Hello to you, sir. Wow, just like 6.5 official COVID deaths worldwide. It's a lot. And we've had 14,500 of them. Dang. Oh, who knows? Maybe things are actually turning around. Greg, hello, good evening. Good to see you. Anything else? Oh, God. Murders. Oh, God. Huge queues to see the Queen lying in state. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Oh, yes. In news from the Welder Bureau, Northern Territory racist cop. Yeah. Okay. Indonesia has approved digital nomad visas. Bali's already crawling with foreigners chasing work-life bliss. Wow. After more than a year of discussion, the Indonesian government has announced remote workers will be allowed to conduct online work for up to 6 months without paying tax by using an existing visa. The government's original proposal for a longer-term digital nomad visa, possibly up to 5 years, is still under discussion. Wowzers. Indonesia is not the only country considering such a move. 25 countries have launched digital nomad visas. Wowzers. Remote working from Bali. How about that? Jim, did that happen? Why hasn't anyone in the media reported? My God, the media really dropped the ball on that. Mega Leech, the Silmarillion on Audible. Isn't Martin Shaw, isn't he a great reader? He's just got a great voice. He's worth listening to. So yeah, Micro, you go to Indonesia and they'll let you work there without paying tax. Working remotely. Pretty wild. Who's this? Australian Phoebe Greenacre moved there with her husband more than a year ago after they left UK to escape COVID lockdowns in London. She makes a living entirely online, producing meditation podcasts. She works barely 5 to 10 hours a week, but earns more than she did working full-time in Australia. Wow, that's like an article written by the Bali Tourism Authority. God damn. Yeah, there's oh, sorry, Meglish, I was having corrected. You haven't listened to Silmarillion. Well, then, Martin Shaw reads the Silmarillion. His voice is just fucking amazing. I love it. Biggest sources of digital nomads are Russia, Britain, and Germany. So when the pandemic hit Melbourne, Dan Lawson quit his high-paying job in affiliate marketing, moved into a brand new villa in Canggu, set up online business as a coach and mentor. These days, he spends more time at the gym than working. When he does work, it's often from the comfort of a cafe. I work less than I've ever done. Toby Konopka, German-born property manager in Canggu, says increasing numbers of Balinese have sold their land or property to developers to feed an insatiable market for villas. Villas are making many Balinese rich, while still representing an economical option for foreigners to rent. Between $2,000 and $4,000 a month to rent a villa. If you look at it long term, or if you're sharing with people, it's cheaper than renting a hotel or booking yourself into a resort. The downside, Bali's famous rice paddies and iconic green vistas fast disappearing. Yeah, urbanizing a country. Culture of Bali and spiritual beliefs, very strong. They're disappearing. Holy land, holy plants being replaced or cut off. Yeah, of course. Of course it's going to fucking dispossess people. That's how shit like that works. Hey, Nessel, how you doing? Westerners seeking enlightenment or an easier, cushier life by fucking over other people. So it's very interesting. Oh. Coca-Cola discontinues Lift, replacing it with Sprite Lemon Plus. And I had a bottle of that the other day, and it's okay. Nassau. Oh, this is speaking of pandemic and lockdown. This is one of my big things. Buying these bowling shirts, Hawaiian shirts. This is a martini shirt. Look at that. Great big hand on it. Martini and an olive. I got, Jesus, how many of them I got? 30? I bought a lot. OC Saracen. I was just finishing the last of my clarified cocktail that I made last week. I got to think. I do feel like making myself a drinky or two. Where is it? The Death & Co. book. It's the closest thing I have to a Bible. It looks like a Bible. Great big book. Death & Company. Flor de Jerez. But I feel like I haven't cracked this book open in ages. So rum, sherry, apricot liqueur, lemon juice, sugar syrup and bitters. The conference. I made this one. I quite liked it. Rye whiskey, bourbon, apple brandy, cognac, sugar syrup, bitters. So it's a complicated old-fashioned. The base is split 4 ways between 2 whiskies and 2 brandies. I like that. I stood up. The hand looked a bit like a butt. Thumb, first finger crease was the crack. Well, you do that with close-ups. What was that? Must use that as a thing. Might make a conference. Oh, here we are. This is serious. Okay. You know what? I'm going to make a complicated old-fashioned. So there's websites for that. I'm sure there are websites for that. A martini glass sticking out of a butt. I feel sure that's someone's fetish. Something for everyone out there, really. All right. I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to make a really complicated old-fashioned, maybe mix whiskey and rum. 2 different whiskeys and 2 different rums. Or even go further, because I think you're putting some of my... So this is one of the things you can change a drink quite a bit by doing little tweaks. But if I sit here doing this myself, I'll just get seriously shit-faced. I need someone to share it with. But now the ideas got into my head. I think I want to do my añejo tequila as well. Actually, fuck it. Why not go 4 different base spirits? It's ridiculous and overkill, but I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I got to get my jigger, chocolate bitters, Angostura bitters. We're on like Donkey Kong. I know what I am making. Just need to get my jigger so I can measure all of this. All right, so we're going to choose Smith & Cross. I'm going to put some Smith & Cross whiskey in this. Sorry, rum in this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go Bakery Hill. And Cape Byron whiskies. Where's my añejo tequila? Smith & Cross rum. Oh, I need some sugar. Which sugar will I do? Cherry? Rose? Honey? Maybe honey, actually. Honey syrup. Okay. All right, concoction time. Making shit up. That's what we're doing. All right, little bit of the honey syrup. Probably enough. Okay, half an ounce of each of these. Na 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 na. All right, tequila. It's going to be a pretty strong drink. The Smith & Cross Jamaican rum, 57% alcohol. I think the tequila is only 40%. Standard for a spirit. Doubly checking. It's even less. It's like 38%. Okay. Cape Byron Chardonnay cask is 48% alcohol. Yes. So if a curious angry wondering what to drink next. Half an ounce of that and half an ounce of the Bakery Hill. Jim, what's a tequila Kennedy? All right. Is that a reference to all the Kennedys getting killed? Oops. I put more than half an ounce of that in. Oh well. We will unbalance it. All right. Bitters. Do a mix of bitters. Angostura. And chocolat. Oh, yeah. Kind of missed with some of the. All right. All right. So happy when you have bread in the pantry. It's the simple pleasures, my friend. I'm happy when I'm experimenting with a drink. Just want to stir that for a bit. Chill it and dilute it. Because it's quite potent. Averaging out the ingredients, got it somewhere around 50% alcohol, which is the 58%. Somewhere in the region of 50% alcohol, this little concoction. All right. We like it boozy and barangry. It's nice. Well, it goes through a few flavors as you drink it down. It's quite smoky, which is interesting. Almost like a barbecue. Now, so bartending's a really fucking hard job. I mean, it's a really fucking hard job. And I have a day job that pays way more than bartending does. But that's my win lotto thing. If if I won a lot of money in the lotto, I'd open a sort of small bar distillery, maybe a private club with distillery attached. I don't know. Interesting mix. I like old fashions. Oh wow! See, the news to me, Safra, is there were sanities that were still open, closing down. 18 4K Blu-rays for $120. I mean, you gotta like that. Like that's not much more than $10 each. I mean, sorry, that's less than $10 each. Not much more than $5 each. Pretty good. That's all you think. Great tender skills. Well, I mean, yeah. I'd like to do it in an environment where it would be fun. but it is a freaking hard job. Which actually, young Mr. Angry is working in a bar at the moment. All right. God, I might do this experiment again. I've used some really potent things. I want to keep the tequila. Might do. Actually, I might do a brandy. Do a different rum, a different whiskey, and a brandy. So yeah, I think I'd only do it in a bar. That would literally be just to amuse myself if, like, I won lotto or something. Even when Kirsten told me if you really want to open a distillery, that's going to cost $5 or $10 million. Okay, like, so if I win a lot of money on lotto, then. But I like the idea of a small, chill venue where you can do whatever the fuck you want. And my God, even if you had the thing where you didn't have to make money from it, it could be something that you're creating an experience for yourself and other people. That'd be great. So I've had lasagna. I had a pasta bake, not 100 miles removed from lasagna. I made it myself. I had the beef mince and made a bolognese type thing and cooked up some pasta, mixed it in, cheese on the top, put it in the air fryer, actually. Normally I'd put it in the oven, but it's like a little thing, much less energy if I put it in the air fryer. Tasty. And there's a bunch of it left that either myself or someone else will have tomorrow. I might have it for lunch tomorrow. Or someone else might say, I want that. But it's just cooking stuff that had to be cooked, basically. Tell you what, this is an interesting drink. Not my favorite, but interesting. Safa, how much do air fryers cost? How long is a piece of string? I think the different types of air fryers go for between $100 and $1,000. So Megaleech. Now we're talking food. Pork roast for lunch. They have to have a slice, light and easy pea. Oh man, that would be good. That would be a nice addition to pea and ham soup. Excellent. I did see that one, Safa, Disney Plus doing a $2 thing. I've already got Disney Plus. Not getting any more streaming services though, but they've all got stuff that I want to watch. So just finished rewatching Sandman with Mrs. Angry. She didn't watch it the first time. I watched it as soon as it came out. And she thought, oh, maybe I should watch it. And she enjoyed it too. She actually said it is actually, there's quite a dreamlike quality to watching it. It's just a vibe. Strictly Sega, your air fryer was just $60. Been using it for 2 years. Air fryer. I'm one of the many people who bought an air fryer during COVID. Now I want to look it up because I absolutely fucking forget how much it costs. It's a reasonably large one. It's large enough to like put a pizza in. I forget what it is. It's Smith and Noble. Okay. All right. Now I want a reminder of how. I just want to know how much I paid for my air fryer. Smith and Noble air fryer. Oh man, they make a lot. Wait, there's mine. $120. Okay, that sounds like what I would have paid. Strictly Sega. They're all are they all Smith and Nobles? How did you guess Smith and Noble? Yeah, I think I got I think I got to do. Oh, okay, what am I subscribed to? I've got Foxtel, I've got Netflix, I've got Prime, and I've got Disney Plus. I think I had a deal with Prime when I signed up, but there was stuff I wanted, so I kept it. I think I had a deal on Disney Plus when I signed up. Don't think I had a deal on Netflix, but so yeah. I mean, I got Prime so Mrs. Angry could watch the new Star Treks because she's a real Trekkie. But oh, actually, and that's a lie. I got it because it had American Gods and Good Omens on it, which I wanted to watch. But there's a bunch of stuff on it, and there's stuff I'm still watching on it, and there's a bunch of fucking weird stuff on it. If you go down a rabbit hole, actually, that's the thing I like on all the streaming services. You can go down a rabbit hole and find some weird shit. I so far I found Prime to be the best for that. Just um, uh, going down a rabbit hole and just finding super weird shit. I think Prime's best for that. So you say you didn't guess. Oh, you heard me say it and you wrote it so you could Google it. Fair enough. Yeah, and they have a whole spectrum, but my one cost about $120. Um, it's fucking great. I've used it non-stop. I don't know, 18 months, 2 years ago I got it? During COVID anyway. Use it heaps. Used it tonight. It's just basically, if you're doing something that fits in it, it uses a lot less energy than a full-size oven. So I mean, this fridge was a COVID purchase, replaced another fridge and a little freezer. It's much more energy efficient. I even like did the maths on how much energy this used compared to the things it replaced, and this is literally going to pay for itself in energy savings. So it's a good fridge. Oh yeah, strictly Sega. When you can't be for cooking, just fucking chuck something in the air fryer. It's fucking great. Supermarket pizzas, whack them in there. Um, Safa, I like to call it singing the song of its people. My bedroom's so far away, I can't hear if the fridges do anything. But semi regularly during the stream, the fucking compressor will kick in on one of the, particularly that's the older one there, but it's still in good nick. Um, uh, at the Fish and Paykel. Is this one too? Or is this a sort of cheaper brand? I don't remember. It doesn't have a great big thing saying what brand it is. But yeah, every now and then the compressor kicks in. I refer to it as singing the song of its people. Chikasegi, yours makes frog noises at night. This okay, the new one, it makes weird, and I assume it's the coolant moving around. Occasionally, it makes really weird gurgling noises. Super fucking weird. Not loud, just this very odd. It's kind of like water in pipes, but there's no water pipes. So I assume it's the coolant. Occasionally makes really fucking weird noises, but not loud noises. But sometimes if I'm like recording a video for YouTube in here, fucking fridge will kick in and I just know the microphone's picking it up. It's like, oh, okay, now I have to fucking wait for that little cycle to stop because it's going to make too much noise. But oofed. Of course, the other big COVID purchase, the booze collection more than doubled during COVID. It had started getting serious the year before COVID, but COVID kicked it into fucking overdrive. And largely, although she's not here to thank at the moment, but Kirsten particularly got me into Australian products. And now the majority of what I buy is Australian. when I started, hardly anything in my collection was Australian. But Kirsten got me into buying from Australian distillers. Never looked back. I don't know, 3/4 maybe? More than half my collection is Australian, maybe 3/4. All of my gins are Australian. I don't see the point in buying gins from anywhere else. 3/4 of my whiskies are Australian, or more than 3/4. About half my rums are Australian, and about half my liqueurs are Australian. And yes, see, Strictly Sega, helping out an Aussie battler. Look, I don't want to call myself a hero for buying ridiculous amounts of Australian alcohol. But if other people are going to thrust the mantle of hero on me, what can I do? What can I do? But yeah, also, it's fucking great product. All these various Australian entrepreneurs coming up with really unique products. So, I think I am going to do take 2 of my 4-way split old fashioned. I just fucking love old fashions. So what's that, Strictly Sega? Start building a Laserdisc collection. I don't buy physical media anymore. I have a pretty big disc collection, not Laserdiscs, DVDs and Blu-rays. I don't think I've bought physical media in, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years. I've actually got a shit ton I haven't watched. And then there's everything on the streaming services. And so it's how I realized streaming services were worth it, because they had whole series. And I would buy TV series, not just movies. I would buy TV series on disc. And then without thinking, and I go like, okay, so a box set is anywhere, depending on the box set, is anywhere between 2 and 6 months subscription to a streaming service. So it's like, well, if a streaming service has got that, yeah. Yes, Strictly Sega. I have 4 milk crates of 12-inch vinyl. 3 of the crates are albums. 1 is 12-inch singles, because I'm a child of the 80s. I have a bunch of 7. Maybe I should do, oh my God, maybe I should just do, people do those video essays on YouTube. Maybe I should work my way through my record collection. How fucking hipster would that be? Fuck, I might do that. Go through my record collection and make one video for each album. Okay, this album is Blur by Blur. Track list. It's got this many tracks, this thing. And just go, what I remember is I like this track, and this track. So if you're a child of the 90s. In terms of what I was saying, dude, I think you're a child of the teens. So you can say you'd love it. Or one artist per vid. Well, see, that's the thing. Some artists I have half a dozen albums of, and some artists I only have 1 album of. But of course, the length of the video would vary depending how into the album I was. So you don't do many TV series. Yeah, no, dude, you do what you... Yes, so for my version of Rage. And I only wish you didn't have the fucked copyright laws, and I'd get pinged on YouTube, because I'd love to direct people to particular artists. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. Yeah, why the fuck not? Yeah, I'm going to do it. God, maybe I'll revamp the Less Angry Aussie channel. Yeah, no, that's what I do. Share the knowledge of the artists, the albums, etc. Okay, I'm going to do it. Jesus, am I in the mood to start another brand? It would be fun to start from scratch, another brand new YouTube channel. God damn. Or just maybe put it on the Angry Aussie channel, maybe put it on the Less Angry Aussie channel. I don't know. Got to put a bit of thought. I'm definitely going to do it. Just got to put a bit of thought into it. Things to do. All right. I'm going to put some of these bottles back and get some other bottles. All right. Put that there. We'll make this a much lighter one. Maybe actually raise. Which one's this? High test molasses rum, single core. Maybe I didn't have rye in the last one. This whiskey got a rye. Fuck it. Here's the gospel. It's going to be the gospel. Apple brandy from Belgrove. And a rum. Which, white rum? Oh no, this one. Fuck it. Bricks. All right. Crazy, mixed up, old-fashioned, the same. Oh, Greg, nail on the fucking head, brother. Nail on the fucking head. I could do that once a week and I would have videos for years. Okay, no, Greg, fucking hell. Oh, shit. Look at this. Tunes and booze. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I've got to write this shit down. I think I did. No, that's fucking sealed it. I'm going to do it on my cocktail channel. Fuck, you guys are geniuses. Genii. Oh my god. Fucking hell, you guys are geniuses. Did I say hi, Heine? Hi, Heine. All right. It might take a week or two to get this up. Jesus, no, I'm probably gonna organize it this weekend. Whether I shoot the first video this weekend is another thing. All right. I've written it down so I don't forget it in my little notebook. All right, got to put the Smith and Cross back. I think I'll use a different sugar syrup as well this time. I think I will use the rose syrup for no real reason. I just want to. Not fungus, is it? What's that? It's just color. Oh, it's just color. All right. Rose syrup. Oh. Okay. Take 2. Put the rose syrup in. Right. Now, half an ounce of rum. '80s guy, how you going? Short time? No, you don't have to. Excuse me? Win 7 gets overloaded. God damn, that's harsh. Safa, where's Mrs. Angry from? She moved around a lot, so she has ambiguous answers to that. She spent most of her life in that naval town. God, I'm trying to remember. I have actually been there. It's the one where they have a replica of Admiral Nelson's ship. Ugh. I am. When I visited there, we stayed with her mum, who was in the Cotswolds, not far from Bath. But that wasn't where Mrs. Angry grew up. Portsea? No, it's not Portsea. Or is it Portsea? I don't think it's Portsea. I feel like I'd remember the name if I saw it. I'm blanking out a little at the moment. Okay. Trying to think, okay. Portsmouth, not Portsea, Portsmouth. Okay, I knew Portsea wasn't right, but it sounded kind of right. Portsmouth, Portsmouth, Portsmouth. And the one thing I remember, I mean, I loved going to England, just being an Australian where, no structures are more than about 150 years old. Being in a place where just the pub down the corner is 400 years old is wild. I mean, I also get the same feeling. Like I had the holiday up in Darwin and visited sites of significant to Indigenous Australians, and you realise, like this was someone's home for tens of thousands of years. But I remember I was in Portsmouth, walking around a bit, walking down these steps which go down to the docks. Very old steps, like they're very worn from centuries of people walking down them. And I realized, it just like hit me like, holy shit, Nelson may have walked down these steps on his way to the Battle of Trafalgar. And it's just like, and that just fucking blew my mind. Safa, I actually like Stonehenge. I've been to Stonehenge twice. And again, but they're just normal. These pubs that are hundreds of years old, they're just normal. I went to a few of them. Yes, they're maybe big stones. The place where I stayed was called Colin. I posted a few videos from there. It's a very cute place. They had a very old pub. The church in the town had relics of like previous churches, headstones that were like 600 years old. And there was another town just across some farms and whatnot. And it was this precarious, mostly wooden pub. It seemed very precarious on the side of a fucking cliff. And that's where I had a pint of their scrumpy called Black Rat cider. Really fucking serious high alcohol cider. It was yummy. But yeah, it's just like the pub. It's not a special place. It's not an historical place. It's just the pub, and it's fucking 400 years old. Like you get into London, you do get places that are older, 800 years old. But Jesus Christ. Yep, I fucking loved the old shit. You know, and you're driving through the countryside in England, and there's still thatched cottages. They've maintained this thatched cottage from the Middle Age. Like, I'm sure the thatch has actually been changed multiple times. But it's just like wild to me. 80s guy. Oh man, how good would an ancient pub tour be? It'd be friggin' awesome. I'd love that. Wowzers. Yeah. So yes, I'd love to do Europe. I haven't really done Europe. When I say haven't really, I mean not at all. But yeah, I did enjoy England. I got to be in Scotland for a little while. I spent a couple nights in Edinburgh. Did a road trip with a YouTube pal, which was fun. Yeah, strictly saying, the thatching is hay. The roof of these houses that people live in is fucking hay. It's wild. Yeah, I did a road trip with a YouTube pal, stayed in lots. And that was the other fascinating thing. When you're in these older cities, the buildings that have been there for a long time are all built out of the same things. It's like the local thing. In like one city was red brick, Edinburgh sandstone, and you get these older cities where there's heaps of buildings all made with the same sort of stone or the same sort of brick, because that's what was quarried or manufactured locally. Yeah, and so you get to the different cities and they've got totally different vibes. I freaking loved it. See, okay, this was my one disappointment, Megaleech. My last time in the UK, I wasn't a spirit drinker, so I didn't really indulge. Nassau, nice ones in Frankfurt. Killer apple wine with. So is that apple wine? Like, is that like an apple brandy or? Mm. Okay, this is better last. Okay, the earthy, smoky thing is definitely this añejo tequila. So okay, so I did pick up right. So it's kind of like cider, traditionally German, but it'd be different. So, well, man, that sounds great. That actually sounds fantastic. And again, Germany. Everyone I know who's either from Germany or has been to Germany have been like, yeah, travel Germany. It's great. I would fucking love to. Okay, I like this better than the last one. Oh, yum. That is actually really quite nice. But the smoky, earthy stuff is definitely the tequila. It's the common thing between the two of them. Man, okay. It's just like... yes, tequila sounds like tequila for a reason. So traditionally served cool porcelain thing called a bremble. Nice. That's another thing I love, when regions have not only traditional drinks, but a traditional way of serving the drink. I like that. I like that sort of thing. I think I'd be fucking bang up for that. That sounds great. Here's the thing, 80s guy, I don't think it's tequila's fault. I think a lot of people, have misadventures with tequila where they get convinced to do shots. I very rarely do shots. I like to make cocktails and I like to sip them and enjoy them. Get fucking drunk. Absolutely get fucking hammered. Very rare that I will do shots though. Because shots fuck you up. Uh, so Safa, Crimea is the same latitude as the Champagne region. Lots of wine in Crimea. Nice. Um, and apparently, South Australia, similar climate to Germany. You got a lot of people from Germany settled post World Wars and started some really serious wine growing in the Barossa and other regions of South Australia. And they gradually refined their art, their craft of winemaking to the point where we get to the 70s, 80s, Australia's producing some world leading wines. It's kind of like spirits now, like thanks to Bill Lark starting up whiskey distilling in Tasmania 30 years ago. And it's gradually been picking up and snowballing and accelerating the number of distilleries in Australia. So distilling in Australia is now where winemaking was in the 80s, I think, in as much as it's winning global prizes, but people broadly don't really realize some of the best stuff in the world is being made in Australia. It's like Australian wine started getting serious in the 80s. Australian spirits been getting very big on the world stage in the last 5-10 years. Oof. Oh, Safa, yeah. Fucking wine's everywhere, man. Like, a little while ago, Mrs. Angry and I had a weekend away in the Yarra Valley. Went to mainly see the Four Pillars Distillery, but just driving through that area, it's just winery, 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 winery. Heine, wondering when winemakers found out how to keep methanol out of the wine. Oh, that would be many centuries ago when they worked out how to kill people less. Well, one of the many reasons I wish I could go back in time, 80s guy, is to the first colonizers and say, don't bring European shit here. Actually talk to the local people and find out what's already here that will sustain you. And Australia would have been radically different if they'd done that. But they didn't. Oh God, Safa's stepdad's red wine binge drinker. Yeah, if you get this, like people who drink a whole bottle of wine in a night, that's not good. I've known a lot of people like that. That's not good. He said having his second old fashioned. Yum. That is actually really fucking good. Now I've got this idea in my head. Man, I should make a complicated old fashioned and barrel age it. Oh yeah, musical aviator. Fuck the people who brought rabbits here. Even more so, fuck the people who brought foxes here. And as much as we love our cats and dogs, it would be particularly good if you could stop cats from ever coming into Australia. It would also be quite good if you could stop dogs from coming in here. Safa, yes, that's orange peel in the glass. I'm a classy motherfucker, and I like, particularly with my old fashions, doing a garnish of orange peel and a cherry. I eat the cherry at the end of the night, but I leave the orange peel. Mrs. Angry puts the orange peel and the water from the melted ice in a hot chocolate in the morning. Gives it a little extra flavor to a hot chocolate. So, whoo. So, yeah. We should have adopted native animals. Man, you know what's called colloquially the native cat? Quolls. I was trying to think, what are they really called? Quolls. Quoll. Quolls are friggin' awesome. If we had never allowed cats into the country, and maybe not dogs either, and adopted marsupials as pets, quolls and squirrels and whatnot, that would fucking rock. Quolls are awesome. They're mad little carnivores too. But yeah, and I mean, like, if we could have stopped livestock from coming here, cows and pigs and sheep, and instead worked with the native animals. And Safa, that is essentially the problem. Not just the Brits, Europeans generally, when they colonized places, would destroy the local environment to bring in animals and crops that they were familiar with. Was just listening to the Behind the Bastards on Christopher Columbus, and yeah, that's what the Spanish and the Dutch did. They're the first big colonizers. Later, it was the English and French. That's human history, though. But yeah, if that would be a gold thing to me, if we could go back and stop them from bringing in anything, pigeons, sparrows, starlings, all that shit, through to cattle and sheep and pigs in particular, and cultivate native animals and native grains and native fruits. The world would have been so much better if that happened. Sadly, no. Someone reminded me on social media today, some fucking lunatic in America had this idea that he thought would be special. He was a Shakespeare nerd. And he said, I think we should have every species of bird that's mentioned in Shakespeare here in the United States. And among things, he imported starlings to the United States because starlings are mentioned once in a Shakespeare play, and starlings cause hundreds of millions of dollars of crop damage in America every year. Fucking ridiculous. Mouse plagues in Dubbo. I never lived through a mouse plague. There's been mouse plagues out in the Central West in the last couple of years. There was a rabbit plague before I was born, and I saw like 8mm home movies of it. That was fucking wild. But that didn't happen when I was there. The rabbit plague happened before I was born. The mouse plague's been the last couple of years. 80s goes, inevitable European rats and fleas. If other livestock never came, rats would be the plague. Okay. I was about to say I don't think that's true, but I don't have any conclusive evidence. But no. And yes, Strictly Sega, I agree. Those videos of the mouse plagues, nightmare material. Absolutely fucking horrific. And hey, Justin, how are you doing? Those ones where they were just had this thing where they were chasing the mice up a ramp into a 44-gallon drum full of water to drown them, and it's just boiling with all these mice. It's just nightmarish is the only way I can describe it. It's just fucked. I haven't heard anything about it for a little while, so maybe it got slightly more under control than it was a couple of years ago. Then again, maybe they just stopped reporting it. I don't know. But holy shit, you know, that mouse plague was fucking nightmarish. So not good. So is it the end times? Interestingly, humans throughout history have very regularly been convinced they were living in the end times, and Judgment Day was going to happen any day now. I think what it comes down to is humans are very self-involved and self-important, and humans at any stage in history think they are in the most important stage in history, and it's all going to happen now. And to a large extent, they end up being wrong. Things go on. So who knows? Uh, I have an OD. Oh man. Oh, that's like honey-ish. Man, that was a really good mix. It's like, oh, okay. You know what? That's now reminding me on when you do a honey glaze on barbecue meat, and you've got that smoky, earthy, um, maybe even I'm feeling that there's even a bit of, and I think this is from the tequila, the añejo. If I had a lighter tequila, it wouldn't be such a thing. I kind of feel like making one with a reposado. I might. I don't think I'll do it tonight. I think I might be pissed enough tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. I might do it. I've got a reposado tequila over there, which is a bit lighter than this añejo. I think yeah, that might be the go for tomorrow night, or tonight. I might talk myself into it. Um, Justin, your landlord wants to sell. Oh, dude, I'm really reticent to provide any advice on rental stuff because I just keep hearing nightmare stories and I don't want to be held responsible for anything. So what is this? Europeans introduced first invasive species, vermin and parasites. Oh yeah, no. The various European colonizers had zero thought about destroying ecosystems. Oh, sorry, we're talking about internet. 80s guy. Death, disease, fire, destruction, war, obsession since you're a kid. Chaos origins. Yeah. Safra, it's not raining at the moment. It rained overnight last night. I don't think it rained during the day today, but it did rain overnight. I think we've got rainy weather. This is scintillating live stream. Let's talk about the weather. It's quite cold at the moment. It's saying it's. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong thing. 13. It's not that cold. Okay. Tomorrow's as high as 17. Ooh, and then a maximum of 15 and 17, 16, 19, 20, 20. So towards the end of next week, we're getting back into the 20s. So proper spring weather. So who knows? But of course, we've got the third La Nina in a row. East coast of Australia, mainland Australia in particular, is going to be wetter than usual. Weirdly, bits of Tasmania are predicted to be much, much, much drier than usual, which is weird to me anyway. Thanks, Strictly Sega. I've been enjoying the stream tonight as well. We're talking about some wacky things. It's good. Justin, you want to leave now to avoid the rush next year? Yeah, it's complicated, dude. And like I said, I'm not joking. I am really reticent about providing any advice because it's all kind of fucked. Wait, what video is that? What channel is that? Right. Holy shit, my Lord of the Rings video where you're racist got 600 views. That's the most views any Angry Aussie videos had for 3 years. God damn. I really knew what to make a video about. Okay. I'm just looking at that because I feel like I need a wee break and I'm going to play you something in the meantime. Now, my video on Australian whiskies, wait, what? What channel is this? Oh, okay. God, fucking confused, man. Yeah, no, my Australian whiskies video is too long. That's 11 minutes. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. I'm just thinking something I can play that's long enough for me to have a wee. Got a couple that are less than 4 minutes. Oh, this one, a porn star martini made with whiskey, which I call a porn star martini with a mustache. Oh, okay, this is the style that I don't do anymore as well. Okay, I should no, right wing shouldn't be banned from YouTube. People who do absolute hate speech should. Oh, that's old school Strictly saying a badger mushroom. I did a really bad video where I did that with Pokemon Go, and it was Pokemon. Just highlights that A, I'm not musical, and B, I'm not a great video editor. I could try and dredge that out. Need to mine more minerals? I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Sorry, now I just thought of maybe I can find that, actually. That's a really weird one. Search across my channel. Pokemon. I warn you, this is like terrible. The Zubat song. It's 5 minutes. All right, you know what? I am actually going to subject you to this. 80s guy, there's a lot of things with Blue Heaven in the name. They normally just have Blue Curacao and who the fuck knows what else. All right, I am going to subject you to this really shit bit of editing that I did while I have a wee break. So I'm going to share my screen. It's another tab on Edge. Okay, so this is my Pokemon Go song.
Oh, it's lecker.
Okay, I officially apologize for that. That was terrible. That was terrible. Oh my god. I apologize. Mega Leech, I could have done it for 10 hours. That was a 5-minute version. That was terrible. I'm gonna empty these little pre-made cocktail things that have been sitting in my fridge for ages. And I have a little bit more room in my fridge. Making a lemon meringue cocktail. Ooh, man, that's a lot. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, different. I've periodically tried very different things my time on YouTube. Simply because I got bored. Got really bored. God, speaking of different, just remembered Scat Cat. Who remembers Scat Cat? Okay, look, this is only a minute. I'm actually going to share this. This is a monologue recorded by AIDSy for a comedy show. Yes, the Paula Abdul music video. This is a friend Frank did this animation of it. But all right, we'll go full screen and get me out of it.
Oh, they tell you you'll be a big star. They tell you you'll get all the drugs and women you could ever want. What they don't tell you is how much cock you're going to have to suck just to do an infomercial for recycling after your album bombs on the charts. Hey, did you know I fucked Paul Abdul? Hey, I tried to audition for American Idol, but they said 3-dimensional humans only. And I was all like, hey, Paula, do you remember when opposites attracted in the mouth? Oh.
Oh, my microphone was off. Sorry, I was just saying I should redo that as a YouTube short. Opposites attracted in the mouth. 80s guy scat as in poop is a very old meaning. It's actually a scientific meaning, scat. So yeah. So Aidsy actually recorded that for someone else's Melbourne comedy show. I did a really shitty animation of it with some photos and video. And then Frank did that animation, which I really like. I was looking at, I'm actually serious. I think I'm going to be a nightmare trying to find the original video. I might just, it's for a short, low res, I might download it and re-edit it in the format for a short. I love that. Strictly Sega, you've gone bright red from laughing. Well, I can edit that to be under a minute and make it a YouTube short. God, now that the idea's got in my head, I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. The sound glitch. Look, honestly, I'm not surprised. StreamYard does glitch the sound a bit. But hey, you're all subscribed to the Angry Aussie channel. I'm probably going to upload that on the weekend. I have enough time to edit it into a short format. Oh man, that's a really... Okay, what this was, I bought these ages ago and there's a little bit left. Archie Rose did some little mini bottled cocktails. A kiwi sour, a meringue fizz, and what's the other one? Plum bramble, which you could enjoy individually. But the idea is if you mix them all, it's kind of like lemon meringue pie topped with fruit, which is what I'm doing here to use them up. That's really yummy. That is actually really yummy and fruity and tart. I love a fruity tart. So that's like being Mike Myers there. Redonkulous. Yeah, okay, now I'm inspired. I think while that Pokemon video was a nightmare, the Scat Cat one's actually kind of funny. I think I could repurpose it as a short and see what happens. Be a little bit of an editing challenge for me, which would be fun. Actually, I'm really enjoying it. Now I'm going to have 3 new little bottles. I use these. These are mostly for syrups, but occasionally I make a small clarified cocktail. What's in this? 200 mils. Yeah, you know. So sometimes I have clarified cocktails in these. Recently, I've been making larger batches of clarified cocktail, but be useful to have a couple new bottles because particularly the corks, and these are actually cork stoppers. Cork ones grow fungus after a while because of sugar. So strictly saying your friend's wife only watches shorts and TikTok. Yeah. I've been trying to, the last couple of weeks, I've done some shorts for my cocktail channel. 1 did well, 2 did shit. And I have no idea why. The old algorithm, completely opaque. So, but yeah, actually, gonna re-edit that Scat Cat video into a short because the actual bit because Frank did an intro and an outro. Without the intro and the outro, it's less than a minute long. And everyone loves AIDS. It's just a big question of can people pick that's AIDS? And again, it was just the thing I had a recording of because he used to produce and direct a bunch of stuff for other Melbourne comics. And that was for someone else's show, and I recorded it, and I went, I should be able to use that for something. It's just AZ doing a thing. Well, no, Safa, there's no music. It's just AZ pretending to be Scat Cat. Actually, if I look again, okay. Oh, okay, so it's only 47 seconds long. I'll show you. Okay. I'll show you this one. This is my really shitty editing. Share my screen. Whatever happened to Scat Cat? Okay, what does it look like? Okay, it's full screen. Do that.
Oh, they tell you you'll be a big star. They tell you you'll get all the drugs and women you could ever want. What they don't tell you is how much cock you're going to have to suck just to do an infomercial for recycling after your album bombs on the charts. Hey, did you know I fucked Paul Abdul? Hey, I tried to audition for American Idol, but they said three-dimensional humans only. And I was all like, hey, Paula, do you remember when opposites attracted in the mouth? Oh.
So that was my really shit. 80s guy, see ya. Suffered with Australian politicians secretly control. Comics control politicians. Well, you know, for material, yeah. So I love that. Justin, what would AZ wear to Mardi Gras? We might get him later in the week. Okay, you're like that. Shahaha, you liked it. That's why you liked it. It was funny. Yeah. But that's like my super shitty attempt to animate Scat Cat. I think Frank's cartoon animation works better. Or do you all think I should try and turn that one with the actual Paula Abdul stuff into a short? It was nice to have AZ back last Friday. He might be back tomorrow. Who knows? Justin, would AZ wear a see-through shirt? We might get him tomorrow night. You can ask him yourself. Ja ha 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 ha. Good vibes. I'm sure that's meant to be an emoji turned into text on my thing. BX, I am going well. How are you going? Just chilling and having times. Oh, finishing the night with a very fruity, tart, pre-made cocktail, having made several of my own. So I think I've worked out tomorrow night I'm going to try this complex old-fashioned again, but instead of using añejo tequila, there's a thing, the 1800. Going to try reposado tequila and see what it's like. Shows your fingers. No, what's it? The shocker. It's like this. This is the spocker. Most illogical. Streaky Sega kicking off. Cooking dinner. Nice. All right. Take care. Yeah. What are we? 9:30. I'm going to chill in for the last half hour before I go to bed. I think we shall make this the last alcoholic beverage I have this evening. Okay, now I just want to see, because StreamYard doesn't show me the okay, that's what a good vibes looks like. Good. Now I know. I had to go on YouTube to see what the good vibes look like, because StreamYard was literally showing me the text. So far, I may have a little bit of water before bedtime. Certainly not drinking. Well, this Christ, it's actually still a bit of this. But it's good, you know. I am definitely half Tim Smithed at the moment, which, again, being a responsible human, I would absolutely not attempt to drive at the moment, even though I'm probably only half as pissed as Tim Smith was when he decided to get in the car and then ended up crashing into someone's wall. But he's a piece of shit, and I'm a vaguely decent human. I only drink this much because I know I'm staying at home, not going anywhere. So, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, sorry. Safa, would I be able to outdrink Bob Hawke? No, and I wouldn't try. I'm not sure. Hawke was famous for drinking lots of beer, had a record for a yard of ale when he was in Oxford. Yeah, Hawke was renowned 70s, early 80s, being a major pisshead. He stopped drinking to go into politics, and in his later years, he imbibed in a general way. But okay, so I don't drink beer at all. But let's, for argument's sake, say if Hawkeye was drinking beer, I would drink cider of the same alcohol content. I would not even attempt to keep up with him. He was like Hawkeye in the 70s and 80s, major fucking pisshead. And again, I don't claim to be perfect, but I do feel like one of the things I'm not susceptible to is weird sort of toxic masculinity. I have to prove myself with booze drinking. I drink the amount of booze I want to drink to have fun and to have it be pleasurable. If someone's going, you can't keep up with me, I'll just go, yeah, no, probably not. Also, don't care. Literally, do not fucking care whether or not I can keep up with you. But I feel super confident in saying I would definitely not keep up with Hawkeye, and I wouldn't try. It's like the other joke. Winston Churchill was renowned drinker. I'll see if I can find I think Winston Churchill drinking daily. Okay, what would Winston Churchill? 30 units of alcohol. High functioning alcoholic, very much a dependence. Okay, so where's... Okay, Churchill's drinking habit. Yes, he would have whiskey highballs in the morning. So be a tall glass, it's mostly soda, but maybe a shot of whiskey in it. Then he'd have a pint, like he'd have a bottle of champagne or wine with lunch, have a brandy after lunch, another bottle of like a pint champagne at dinner, more brandy soda. Oof. So in World War II, the thing is, like, Churchill was a high functioning alcoholic. He was drinking an amount of alcohol that would put other people under the table, and he would just keep going. But yeah, the basic thing was Churchill would have several whiskey highballs in the morning, like literally with breakfast. He'd start at breakfast. So a shot to half shot of whiskey in a tall glass of soda, and he'd have several of those in the morning. And at lunch, the drinking would start to get serious. And then he'd have a few more drinks in the afternoon, and then dinner, and after dinner, more drinking. Yes, honey, his whiskey, his liver never surrendered. Except he did. I think he probably died grossly and painfully with his body packing it in big time from a life of alcohol abuse. I still cling to, with all that alcohol there and my workstation just there, my 2.5 years working from home, never drank alcohol during the day. So it is what it is. Live streams, that's a whole different thing. And yeah, particularly when we get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. It's the kind of thing when a doctor says, "Do you drink?" And I went, "Define drink." You know, it's like I did stumble across a pretty funny Irish comedian on YouTube, Giles Regan. I've mentioned him on other streams, and I've watched a few of his grabs on YouTube, and he's just like light funny. His funniest one was the one about talking to an American doctor about Irish drinking. And he's just like, Americans, they're just so sincere. You can't help but take the piss. And this whole thing with his brother had been living in America for ages and needed a kidney transplant, liver transplant, some sort of organ transplant, and they were assessing whether Jarlath was a suitable donor. And he met, just on the genetic match stuff he met, but the doctor had these questions for him, so he's going to answer them. And the doctor's like, "Do you drink?" And he goes, "Not really," which confused an American. He was giving the Irish answer to an American question, and they were very confused. Like, that's it. When they say, "Do you drink?" and you said, "Not really," they went, "That's actually a yes/no question." He said, "Oh, then no." And the doctor was writing down no, and he goes, "No, not compared to my friends." And the doctor's like, "What?" And then he goes on to describe Irish drinking to an American doctor. It's really funny. Justin, I have been in my current workplace. It's not far short of 3 years. The end, like December, will be 3 years. And they don't, or at least no one's mentioned that they know I have a YouTube channel, or many YouTube channels where I do many outrageous things. So to stay under the radar for 3 years, not bad. Oh, man, that was pretty good. I've used those up now. Oh, well. It was a good mix, though. I was having the super boozy ones, and these were very fruity and tart. Comparatively lower alcohol from October 2021. Okay. 2.5 standard drinks. Wait, okay. They've got stuff in little letters, and I'm old. I need more light to read little letters. What's the alcohol content? Okay, 15%. %16. 15%. Okay, so that was about 16% alcohol, that mix that I just had, as opposed to the old fashions I was making that were about 40% alcohol. So, oofed. Justin, no, I'm keeping work very, very separate from the YouTube stuff. I don't know what I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if someone from work found out about the YouTube stuff. But because there was the period, how long ago was it when I was noticeable on YouTube? Like 12, 14 years ago? That's when I was noticeable on YouTube. Like a long fucking time ago. But I would, in a couple of jobs I had when people like, because a video of mine was getting watched a lot, and then they would like accost me at work the next day and go, and I was like, yeah, guilty. That's me. Yeah, no, Safa, there is no way I'd get a job with ASIO or Signals Directorate because I would have to tell them about YouTube, and then they would just see all my anti-government, anti-authority videos and go, yeah, no, okay, fair call. I think you're a bunch of cunts. I did work for defense for a while though. That was actually fun. It was a short stint doing some consulting and writing a report for defense. That was a while ago too. I actually passed defense's security check. Oh my God, that shit fucking sucks. And that was a basic security clearance. To actually get the top secret security clearance, man, they go into everyone you've ever known and whatnot. And it's just like, yeah, fucked. And no, Mega Leech, no one at defense found my anti-government stuff. I don't know. No, they didn't ask about YouTube. I don't think I lied to them about that. Mega Leech, you want to work for Signals Directorate? Oh, man, go for it. No, Justin, I don't think I would get a positive vetting security clearance. Because I've got a bunch of social media posts that are like, fuck the government, fuck the police, fuck authority. So I don't think I would pass an intense security vetting. Say la vie. I was only doing like a base level security clearance for defense, which I passed. My favorite bit of that, and I have mentioned this before on streams, there was the question of, have you ever done drugs? And I was like, oh God, okay. Do you want the honest answer, or do you want me to lie and say no? And it's like, because, I'm in my 40s when I did this. Like, okay, in my early 20s, yes, you're like ever in my whole life. And I went, fuck it. And I said yes. And so they called me up and said, okay, you answered yes to drugs. And I said, yeah, in my 20s. I'm in my 40s now. Then they go, oh, we want to say how you distance yourself from it. And I went, I got fucking older, okay? I got fucking older. That's simple. Jesus. Safi, your mum's been a defense contractor. Nice. Justin. See, I don't think I had a face-to-face interview. I did have to go through some stuff on email with someone. I don't think I had a... Maybe my old brain has forgotten, but I don't think I had a face-to-face interview. But I did genuinely enjoy working for defense. It was an interesting project. It was looking at their logistics and understanding what the drivers were for the sort of different areas of the military. Justin, you did it over the phone. Okay, yeah, I think I just did it via email. Interestingly, again, I always apologize because I tell stories multiple times on streams. I think I haven't told this one for a while, but by sheer coincidence, the period where I was working with defense was when the Americans killed Osama bin Laden. And the day that was announced in a press conference, there's a barracks on St Kilda Road, not far from the city. And I had to be there sometimes to talk to people. Most of the time I was just in this office in the city. But sometimes I had to go to the barracks, St Kilda Road. And on the day it was announced that the Americans had killed bin Laden, I was at the barracks, and I was wandering around. I happened to be walking through one area. Like a lot of reception areas will have a TV. This one had a big screen TV with 24-hour news, and it was the press conference. Obama saying they killed bin Laden, and there was a dude. He's active service. He's wearing. He was in uniform. His eyes folded, arms folded, and he's looking at the screen, and he just had the hugest fucking grin. And I looked at him. He was obviously an Afghanistan, Iraq vet, and still on active service. And he just had the biggest smile. And I just went, "Yeah, dude, fair enough. Fair fucking deal, man. That's cool." But it was an interesting moment, just sheer random chance. I was working for defense when the Americans killed bin Laden, and this guy at the barracks with a big fucking smile. I was like, "Yeah, dude, fair enough. You wanted to smile, you got to smile." But yeah, that was a fun thing. Just, you met a friend on Grindr, went for top secret clearance. He was given too much information. Oh no. Yeah, but I mean that was legit when I had this security question later. Have you ever done drugs? And I was like, oh, do you want me to give the honest answer, or do you want me? Are you expecting me to lie? Because I mean, you could fucking drug test me and nothing's going to show up. You could talk to fucking everyone I know and they'd all go like, I've never seen him on drugs, because I was in my 40s at this point in a different fucking city. But my early 20s in Sydney, that's a whole different thing. Yeah, but I went fuck it and told the truth and just had a little bit of a discourse with this person. No, it was on the phone. Holy shit. Justin, you were saying yours was on the phone. I was just thinking through and I go, this was on the phone because it was a woman and she's talking. She's like, oh, you said you. I was like, this is fucking 20. And I even told her, I actually told her, I said, I looked at that question and I had no idea if you wanted me to answer honestly or just say no, because any investigation you did would show I don't do drugs. And but I just went, fuck it, and said yes. And she said, no, we just need to talk about what you've done to distance yourself from that. And I go, well, yeah, I don't go to raves anymore. And short version, I got old. And so all that stuff from my misspent youth doesn't happen anymore. So it's a whole fucking thing. Oh shit, Justin, your friend was giving descriptions that were too graphic. Oh dear, that's oof. Oh, that's a whole thing. That is a whole thing right there. All right. 10. Oh no, it's like 10 to 10. I want my cherry. My cherry, which may or may not have absorbed a bit of flavor from the drinks that were in it. So. Oh, that's tasty. I fucking love Luxardo cherries. They're so yummy. Yum-o. So I'm just doing this thing here where I try drive my cocktail pick into the block of ice. Should like a little bit of physics. The sheer force of pressing. No, it's too big a block of ice. I did make a little hole in it. Okay, I need to stop doing that before I fucking break something, honestly. So, okay. Oofed. So, tomorrow is party night. So I think I'll be down for party. Okay, that's a fun question, Justin. Something that technically isn't a drug. Because that's the thing with the recreational drugs. A particular thing gets declared illegal. So you do get, your amateur or possibly professional chemists tweaking the makeup of it. So then they release something that's technically not a prescribed substance. It's a whole thing. It's kind of like, I always kind of laughed if someone was into mushrooms. If you got to say, oh, we tested you had like this particular mushroom. And I went, I don't know. I had a carbonara at an Italian restaurant. Is that what you're picking up? Or I had like a truffle oil pizza. Is that what you're picking up? I don't know. Again, drug testing is bogus as fuck because it doesn't test unlike, say, alcohol breath testing. The random drug testing doesn't test impairment. It literally just tests, can we detect a particular thing in this person's system? It's quite immoral. And again, it's not something that affects me directly because I don't do drugs. But the fact is, those roadside, when you get a random breath test that also does a random drug test, those things are dodgy as fuck because there is solid scientific medical evidence of blood alcohol content that causes dangerous impairment. But the drug testing they're doing in those things is not testing for impairment, and it's fucked. Justin, most of your interviews about autism and youth citizenship. Interesting. Because I don't have either of those. At least not diagnosed. I've made this joke many times that I have a lot of internet friends who are on the spectrum or have ADHD or some other form of neurodivergence, and they post memes online, and I go like, I'm responding with the lol hashtag relatable, and I'm like, wait, why did I find that so relatable? I actually very seriously believe if I was tested for ADHD and it come back positive, and then I'd go, well, that explains a lot. That explains a bunch of shit that happened from my schooling onwards. It explains a bunch of my attitudes and behaviors now. What are we going to do? Oh, God, Mimsy, I don't know if you can hear. There's like a scraping of some leftovers from a plate and Mimsy going absolutely fucking nuts because she's getting some leftovers. She loves the leftovers. It's funny. Mimsy gets alerted by two things. She, despite being senile and ridiculous and close to death, in fact, she was sick in the last week. We legit thought she was going to die. But she got better. She had like a 48-hour sort of gastro thing. We literally thought she was going to die. She's going to die soon. She's very old and she's not very well. But anyway, but she got better. But she's very responsive to two things. The sound of leftovers being scraped off a plate or bowl, which was happening just then. But also she's got a super keen sense of smell. I saw this today, like when I'm cooking, not just cooking, like when you're cooking something, she notices and she comes into the kitchen kind of hoping you spill something on the floor. But I think it was yesterday, I was chopping up some chicken, and just when I had raw chicken, she suddenly appeared in the kitchen like, oh, I can smell a thing I like. Are you going to give some of it to me? So that's kind of the three things that alert her. If she hears you scraping leftovers from a bowl, if you're cooking, she gets very interested. She's also got a pretty keen sense of smell for raw chicken, I have discovered. She just, if I'm preparing something, she just suddenly appears in the kitchen. And I think it all stems back to a thing from a year or so ago. I was cooking something with bacon in it, and I was chopping up, like dicing some bacon and cooking it and tossing it. And so I dropped a little bit of bacon on the floor, and Mimsy came in and she's like, "What's that?" and sniffed it and thought, I'm not sure. And it was a bit of bacon that sort of flew out of the frying pan because it was hot. So she's like, I'm not sure. And then she convinced herself to taste it, and she tasted it, and her whole expression was, this is the best thing I have ever eaten. And ever since that day, whenever I'm cooking something in the kitchen, she comes in here. It's like, are you going to drop something? Because you dropped something once and it was fucking awesome. And it was bacon. I dropped a little bit of bacon. Ever since I dropped a little bit of bacon, she's like, are you going to drop something? Are you going to drop something? Because I believe, and she's weird and she's obsessive. But I'm going to go to bed soon, and then she will go to bed and she will sit on me on bed. Like I learned at the start of going to bed, because I have my CPAP machine, so I breathe and don't die during the night. And it's easiest to wear that lying on my back. If I go onto my side, it sort of pushes it off, and maybe it doesn't work properly. So I kind of prefer to sleep on my side, but the CPAP machine makes it easy to sleep on my back. So I'm lying on my back, and Mimsy will climb out and she'll sleep between my legs. So I sort of sleep with my legs spread, and she goes there. But sometimes she like climbs up and she just goes the old way, and she stops, and she's basically standing on my balls. And I'm like, no. And I just sort of push her a bit further. So she's going to the open bit of my between my legs. And it's like she's affronted by that. I'm like, no, don't fucking stand on my balls. It's not that difficult to understand. Justin, is she autistic? No, she's fucking senile. She is a senior cat. We don't know exactly how old she is. She was, I don't know, she could have been as old as 18 months when we got her. She's somewhere between 16 and 18 years old now, which is fucking old for a cat. So last year or so, her health has declined. She's got really skinny. We've done a couple things to kind of, including medication, to improve her well-being. But yeah, I don't think she's autistic. I think she's fucking senile. I think like in human years, she's way into her 80s, if not 90s. I think she's well gone. Sad to say, she is probably not gonna be with us much longer. Every time she acts a bit funny, we think she's gonna die. This week she thought she was gonna die. Then she got better. She's very old. She could drop off the twig anytime, which I know would make the internet very sad. People love it when Mimsy comes on and joins the streams. But you know what? She's just fucking old. She's very fucking old. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. I did enjoy the complicated old fashions I made tonight. I think, I don't know, although maybe the Añejo Kilo is a bit much, I'm going to make one tomorrow night with Reposado tequila. See how different that is. But I am going to go sleepy bobos now. Rays, you've come in just in time to say good night. I'm just wasn't out. I'm fine. I probably could get going for a while, but it's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking take it easy tonight. We go to bed, and then tomorrow night's party night. Anything could happen tomorrow night. We don't know. We don't know. Anything could happen, but we'll see tomorrow night. Not least, I think I'll do these complicated old fashions, but using reposado tequila instead of añejo tequila. And we'll see what happens from there. But you fine folk, take care. If you're here tomorrow night for Friday night, awesome. But if you're not, just take care. Look after yourself because you're awesome. And